Hey, Jim, where are you at? Ah, there you are. Well, I thought I'd give you a quick update on what's happening with the Bluebird, the beautiful 1978 Bluebird FC31. It has about 85,000 miles on it. Oh, I got it a couple of weeks ago, and here's some of the stuff that I have done and run into here. Let me show you the new batteries. I was absolutely shocked when, there I am using that shocked pun again, when this thing started on its original batteries after being plugged in. It's plugged in down there with 50 amp, 240 volts, and the engine started on some really old batteries. And it was really amazing to me. And then, of course, just shortly after that, maybe the third time I tried to start it, it wouldn't work anymore. The batteries gave up the ghost. And now what seems to be happening is if I don't have a 12-volt charger connected here, it seems as though there should be a 12-volt charging system in here. So when I'm plugged in to shore power, there should be a trickle charger or something that keeps these batteries completely charged, or at least 80% charged, and I can still use all of my 12-volt system, my lighting, all of that stuff. And that doesn't seem to work now, and I'm not sure why. It seems like even though I'm plugged in, my batteries slowly discharge. And these are two brand new deep cycle batteries I got over at Pep Boys. Obviously, I haven't cleaned this side of it yet. It still is very oxidized. But this other side, and this wheel, I haven't cleaned anything on it yet either. Maybe I'll do a video of doing that because it's kind of interesting. At least it was to me, because this side I've done the wheel and polished it up and put black lug nut covers. But the electrical system just seems to be a little weird. I might have to find where the charger is and replace it. This radio, there's a radio in this panel here, and it worked really good, and it just kicked ass. There's like 12 speakers in here, and there's two great big amplifiers behind here, so this whole panel is pretty heavy. Well, when I bounced this thing the first couple times moving it, this thing fell and almost clocked me right in the head. It missed me by that much, and it's heavy, it would have hurt. And once I put it back in, now the radio doesn't work because it yanked on the wires, and there's a ton of wires in there. Oh, another little snafu is you can see right back here the plates on the bulkhead. I have this little center desk piece pulled away, and it's right above the engine cover, and those are the identification plates on the bus. Well, in order to register it in California, they want to see the VIN in two locations. Well, it's there. It's nowhere else. I called the bus manufacturer, and they said, well, it should be above the driver or in the door frame. And I've looked thoroughly. It's neither place. The door frame has nothing. Above the driver has nothing. So I can't get it registered in California, but I called the VIN verification company, and they said I need to take it to the CHP or the DMV, and that they'll verify that it's not a stolen vehicle, and that they should then sign off on it having only one VIN. So that's been a bit of a deal. In order to start finding out all of that, I took the bus for its first real drive. I had moved it forward and backwards in the parking lot here and tried out the brakes and the steering and that kind of thing, but I had never actually taken it out of this dirt parking lot area. And the other day I took it to the auto club in an effort to register it. So my beautiful wife Shannon came and joined me for that adventure, and we were I was a little apprehensive, I have to say. It's kind of intimidating. It's quite large. I haven't really driven buses too much. Never. So it was a little bit intimidating taking this thing out on the highway. Also, the driveway out of here is real steep right in the beginning. So, if you have the air problem or brakes or something like that, it's kind of a bad place to find out that you have a problem with your brakes. It behaved beautifully. The brakes worked great. It drives like a bus. The steering is a little bit vague, would be a good way to put it. The transmission seemed to work great, and when it finally kicks itself into high gear, it just it really sort of accelerates a little bit. It's kind of fun. It is really slow. It's probably 0 to 60 time would probably be somewhere measured in the hours. But it's still kind of fun to drive once you get over the scare factor. Also, I didn't have a convex mirror on the passenger side, so I was really happy to have all of the windows wide open so I could kind of see out a little. I have to replace the convex mirror on that side because it's missing. But got to the auto club. They inspected it for the insurance, which that worked out fine, but they wouldn't issue it the license plate because of only one VIN plate. While I was driving it to the auto club, it it was smoking really, really kind of bad. Like when I would give it the beans, it would just leave like London fog of white grayish smoke. It seems to me like that. It seems to me like it's oil. I mean, I know it's a diesel, it's burning oil, but it was smoking way more than it should have. Once it got warmed up and I'd given it the beans several times and had driven it maybe 8 or 10 miles, the smoke seemed to clear up pretty much. Now, when I just started it up earlier today, let it warm up a little bit and then revved it, and it does puke out a little bit of a little more smoke than I would like to see, but I don't think it's so much that it will cause us to be, it's not like leaving a giant trail of smoke behind itself all the time. It just did that in the very beginning, to the point where my wife was getting very nerved out by the trail of smoke we were leaving. It was like we were driving down a dusty dirt road and leaving plumes behind us. It cleared up, thankfully. You may notice some cardboard here and there on the floor. We had a professional upholstery guy, a carpet cleaning company, come out with their power truck thing, and he completely cleaned everything on the whole interior. All the carpet on the walls, all the upholstery, everything. Cleaned and sanitized and all. Nice. Have not gotten around to doing the window coverings here, other than just removing the old draperies that were there. What I'm planning on doing is I'm going to make covers for all the windows, and I'm going to make where some of these screws will have a snap on them, and so I'm going to make a light proof, a blackout type cover for each one of the windows, and then we'll also have regular blinds, I think. I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to do the mini blind type thing, the 1-inch metal blinds, or if I'm going to do the cellular. I know the cellular are probably a little better for insulation, but we probably won't be going anywhere all that cold, but I still have to do that for all of the windows. It's on my list. Oh, here, yes. This is our new memory foam mattress, but underneath here is the water tank, and that's bad news. I filled it, and it went and started overflowing, and I see here that right there's a crack. That's not supposed to be there. It really probably isn't the end of the world. I could just consider it maybe a vent, or I could also, cover over it with some epoxy or something like that. But the next problem is it kept leaking after it was filled up. So it was full to the top, and it leaked for another probably 36 hours continually drip down to where it's stabilized while it has a quarter of a tank. So there's another problem with the water system that I can't really see any place else where it's obviously got a problem, but going down to a quarter of a tank makes me think that it's got to be probably a problem with the tank itself. Because if it was a leak in a pipe or something like that, I would think it would dribble out and drain the entire tank. I may be wrong. I'm no plumber, that's for sure. But I'm just trying to logically think about why it would stop at a quarter of a tank and where I need to look for that leak. And I'm trying to tell myself it's got to be the tank, because if it was in a pipe somewhere, well, I suppose the pipe could just be at the level of a quarter. All right, I just talked myself out of that entire theory. It could be anywhere. Damn it. Good thing I like this bus. And I have yet to even attempt the propane system. So, it's playing with fire. I know I've got to try it out and see if this oven works and the cooktop stove thing works. I know that this microwave from 1978, the copyright on the instruction manual is 1976. So it doesn't work. It's really scary though. You can turn it on, like, watch this. Hi, start. There. Now it's on, right? Now look at this. If you open it up, it stays on. Ooh, that's kind of scary. The nice thing about it though, I did put some stuff in there and see if it would heat it up. Doesn't. So it's not microwaving all of us. Well, that would be me, but it doesn't work. It's gotta go. Gotta replace it. And I've been working on this hatch here. Both the ceiling hatches were covered with plywood. I put in a new hatch, got it to seat on the top just fine, but then this ceiling, I don't know if you can see here, it's been leaking. The old hatch was leaking. And this is like a headliner stuck on like masonite. So this got saturated, sagged, dried, and hardened in the sagged position. So I have to figure out some kind of a way that I can put the trim piece on here and force this up and have it stay. So I have a trim piece here, and then I also have a little LED light ring that I'm going to attach to that trim piece and hopefully put it on I have a dimmer switch, and also we can have nice lighting right over the kitchen here. But I got to do something with this, figure out some way to do this. I'm thinking maybe of putting even a little wooden frame around it where I can screw the top down to the wooden frame and then screw this trim piece to the wooden frame that will hold it up in position. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. And I have to do it on this one as well. This one's not quite as bad. It's a little saggy right here. You can see. But I have to still do it. I have the new hatch. It just came. Shannon ordered it, and it just came, I think, yesterday afternoon. So, oh, and I still have to take apart this rear air conditioner because it doesn't work. It just hums a little bit, like I can hear the compressor humming, but no fan action, no air comes through it. So I'm gonna have to. It's got a thing bolted to the top, and I've never had one of these apart before, but one of these days. Of course, this one looks like the screw's already missing here. I was just going to complain about this door track being in the way, but it looks like, well, it is in the way. I'm going to have to take this door track off to take this cover off. Oh, well, that's all right. What I've been doing also is I have been updating all of the lighting. And the first thing I did is I went through and I changed out all of the little reading lights, these little jewels. They were incandescent, and I think they were using like Uh, I don't remember, but I'm going to guess maybe a 9 or 10 watt incandescent bulb. And I changed that out to an LED that uses way less, like a tenth of the electrical draw, and it's a much brighter light, so much nicer, and it'll be easier on my electrical system. The next thing I've been doing is behind here, you can see there is fluorescent fixtures. Now these I've just done. I haven't put the cover back on. It's just the LED, but I'm going to show you how to convert a regular fluorescent fixture like this to an LED, which uses less than half of the energy that the original fluorescent tube used. They're a little more expensive than the fluorescent tubes, but the light is much nicer and brighter. These are dimmable. I'm going to attempt to install a dimmer on this circuit at some point. I don't have one yet, so it won't be today, but I'm going to show you how to do these. I lied. I'm not going to show you how to do those on this video. I just looked and realized I've got... I know if I was looking for a video on how to convert my fluorescent lights to LED, and I had to wait 10 or 12 minutes before the a-hole decided to actually show me that job, I would be pissed. So I'm going to end this here, and I will show you how to do the LED fluorescent switchover in a separate video. Thanks for watching.